Hey guys, Cece here again with another Witcher video. So, most of you are aware of the huge uproar on the Ciri casting call. Those of you that have been subscribed to me know that I uploaded my thoughts on that topic. I uploaded an update on that topic, and I'm back. So, Hisrich, Laura S. Hisrich, I believe, had an interview, and she has finally revealed the casting for Ciri and Yennefer. So this morning, my stepdad sent me an article from the Hollywood Reporter. I think this is an Apple News app, and when he sent it to me, it automatically opened this app that I didn't even download. So I'm assuming it came with my phone. And she touches on the BAME situation. I know a lot of people were upset when this whole situation happened. They were really upset that she kind of didn't give any answers to anyone and she just disappeared. She wrote on Twitter, "The hate is enlightening, the passion is, great, but I need to leave so that I can focus on my writing, blah, blah, blah." And I can understand that because we all know the internet can be quite hostile at times. And don't get me wrong, I mean, if you've seen my previous video on this topic, I didn't particularly want a quote-unquote BAME actress in terms of Black, Asian, and I explained all of that in a different video. But I wasn't hateful. I wasn't harsh or judging or mean to her, which is what I'm talking about when I say we all know the internet can be pretty hostile. Some of these people with certain views, with or without good reason, can be very mean sometimes. So I don't entirely blame her for leaving, and I know a lot of people were really mad at her for leaving the internet and not providing any answers. But she did what she had to do. So when she touched on this topic, the question for the interview said, "The role of Ciri specifically caused a bit of backlash last month. Why do you think certain fans reacted that way?" She gave a nice long response. She said, "It boils down to a couple things. One, this property has such a passionate fan base. I think any leak at all was going to attract this type of attention. And with my attention comes backlash to that. And with any attention comes backlash to that attention. I do think that whatever information is trickling out there will be people responding positively to it and people responding negatively to it. I think that's just part of making a television show." Yeah, I can agree with that. "And especially a show this big. In terms of why people responded so strongly, I think the fans really have pictures of these characters in their minds, and I don't blame them for that. I get it. When I read my favorite books, I certainly imagine characters a certain way. There's obviously a couple lines of description of Ciri in the books, and people become very enamored with their own vision of it. I think coming in as a writer and saying my vision might look different than yours is scary for fans. But truthfully, I don't think it has to be." And I agree with that. I mean, there's a lot of adaptations where they change maybe the character's hair color or her eye color or little features that don't always completely fit the description, and no one's gonna look perfectly like they're described in a book. I mean, unless the book is written based on someone specific in real life who happens to be an actor or an actress. But I don't think it was just everybody's image of her that upset everyone. Again, I mean, my main point was the cultural roots of this, and she touches on that as well. But again, I wouldn't have had an issue with changing a few minor details like that. I mean, even the game itself made a few little changes to things like Triss Marigold, for example. I don't believe in the books that she was bright, hot red hair. I think it was more like a chestnut brown, and they changed her eye color in the game from the book. It happens. But I think everyone's main concern was completely changing her race, which would, change the lore, change change a lot for the roots that this story is so deeply part of, which is, Slavic, Polish folklore. So when it comes to that, she said, one of the things I feel most strongly about is people being afraid that we're going to strip out the cultural context of The Witcher to remove its Slavic roots, the very thing people in Poland are proud of. That couldn't be further from the truth. What I've always wanted to do is take Slavic stories and give them a global audience. I love that line. I love that because that was my main concern. I wanted her to respect the Slavic roots of this book, these stories. And some argued, but it's not in Poland. There's no set thing. It's a fantasy world. Yes, it is. But it has such a deep meaning to this culture, where it was written, and I wanted that to be respected. And I'm so happy to see this. So, another thing I wanted to mention was, a lot of people are saying, like, oh, Geralt, of course they chose some big Hollywood star to give this show a name, blah, 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 or give it a face. And I can see that. I mean, it's Henry Cavill. I've been saying Cavill in all my videos, but then I heard him pronounce his own name as Cavill, so I'm assuming he's pronouncing his own name right, so it's Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill is a big face in Hollywood. But when it comes to Ciri and Yennefer, the two actresses she picked are a little less known. They're not very, super Hollywood names. And one of the questions was, did you intentionally cast lesser known actors opposite Cavill habit, who is an established name? And I liked her response. Not specifically, nor were we looking for a movie star when we cast Henry. We're looking for the best actors for these roles. Period. End of story. It comes down to the best actor for the role. Henry's obviously a big fan of the franchise. We met in early April and had a very general meeting. I then went off to meet with hundreds of other candidates for Geralt, and never really got Henry out of my mind. In casting Anya and Freya, Anya being Yen and Freya being Ciri, the cool thing was we were open to anyone, and both of them, to me, embody the spirits of the characters. So I like that, she says she was open to anyone, but that these people really embody the characters. Now, Freya, I think she's been in, someone mentioned War of the Worlds. Excuse me, sorry. I've had a little bit of heartburn tonight, so I apologize for that burp. I haven't seen her, so I can't touch much on her acting skills. I think she could fit the part, and I hope they give her awesome silver hair, because I love silver white hair, and for Anya being Yen, I know a lot of people are like, she looks too young. I think someone said too thin. I don't know. I think she could pull it off. I mean, and in terms of looking too young, there's makeup. Makeup can make people look a little older. And the way she's dressed and her demeanor, if she has a very mature and fitting attitude, I think she could pull it off. But again, with Freya, being, I think, in in Broadway, again, another person I'm not familiar with, so I can't say much on her acting skills. So my point is, little appearance things can be worked with, but I'm holding hope that, she said these people embodied the characters, so I'm really hoping that I have hope for this show. I'm really hoping that they pull through and that it goes well. I'm really hoping for that. They also put out a bunch of other actors and actresses' names. I didn't look up too much on that. I'll look into it later. I mainly wanted to focus on Ciri and Yennefer. I don't think they've done anything yet for Vesemir or Triss, so we'll hold off on those. funny because I just did my my Yennefer video not too long ago, and I know I was a little late on that, but Anya Charlotra? Totally butchering that name, I'm sorry. I can see it. I mean, I am not gonna lie, I had high hopes for Janet Montgomery just because was my favorite in Salem, and I already saw her as a witch, sorceress, all in black, long black hair, like, and she had that attitude in Salem. I was on that, but I'm hoping for Anya. I got my fingers crossed. We'll see how she does. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of them. Freya Allen and Anya, I don't want to mess up her last name again, Charlotra. But yeah, let me know what you guys think, okay?